With the 5-year anniversary of Animal Crossing New Horizons coming up, I thought it would be a good time to look back at the groundbreaking game that launched new life into the series, as well as what could the future hold for Animal Crossing going forward. Let's go back to the very beginning. It's March of 2020 and the world is about to shut down due to COVID-19. And on March 20th, 2020, the world was introduced to Animal Crossing New Horizons. And when I say world, I mean world because the game sold 47 million copies, which would only be second in copies being sold on the Nintendo Switch, only behind Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. As this was largely due in part to the timing of New Horizons' release, as the game coincided with the COVID-19 pandemic and the global lockdowns of 2020, and as a result, New Horizons ultimately became the game of the pandemic. During a time when you could no longer go outside and interact with your friends or families, Animal Crossing New Horizons provided that sense of enjoyment and to be free despite being trapped inside. But with New Horizons releasing a shocking 5 years ago now, many of us sadly had put New Horizons down to focus on other games, which is totally fine, but what's it like now, 5 years later? New Horizons certainly set a new bar for the series, as the core mechanics and gameplay were unlike anything Animal Crossing fans had ever seen before. With previous titles in the series, you would find yourself in a town performing daily tasks without any customization, freedom, or creativity to your town. Whereas in New Horizons, you had the ability to customize everything. Whether this was the interior of your home, the exterior of your home, the clothes your villagers were wearing, your clothes, your town flag, items, and even the music on your island, making your island truly yours, and the island that you want it to be. In prior games, you were given templates that were already there, but nothing ever truly felt like it was yours or that you created it. Rather, in New Horizons, you got to create everything yourself. The game begins with you taking part in Tom Nook's getaway package, choosing your very own remote island, to which over time, with the help of Tom Nook and others, will soon become yours. Completing various tasks and jobs around the island, choosing who resides on your island, paying off your debts, and completing the campaign is where the game really starts to become different. As once you've completed these tasks is where the creative freedom truly begins, as you can ultimately transform your island that was once so bare and bland when you arrived to something that replicates your ideas or passions. This is really what made Animal Crossing New Horizons take off. I mean, seriously, the possibilities are endless and still are with the plenty of new items from Happy Home Paradise that eventually get transferred into the Nook Shop app. There's something to build inside or outside for everyone. And when you add in the online portal where you can share and search for custom designs to even add more creativity to your designs, the possibilities really become endless. I mean, heck, even when I look back at the beginning of the game, I made a wrestling ring and a gym, for God's sake. And to this day, building those are some of the best memories I have when it comes to the early stages of New Horizons. Another reason why New Horizons took off was the new mechanics that the game introduced. The first was the all-new crafting mechanic called DIY, where you'll need to find resources all throughout your island. Whether this is shaking trees, chopping trees, digging up items, hitting rocks, or crafting other items, where you'll then be able to craft tools, furniture, and plenty of other items. You can use these tools to catch bugs, fishes, chop trees, and hit rocks. However, before you can craft these items, you'll need to uncover the recipes, which can be found along the water of your island, be given to you via a neighbor, or purchased in the shop. New Horizons also introduced the all-new terraforming tool. Here, you have the creative imagination to build mountains, new levels to your island, rivers, and waterfalls. While these two techniques provided a new spark for New Horizons, their only knock was how time-consuming they are, as when you were to customize the inside of your home, the differences were much quicker. Along with this, New Horizons introduced a Nook Miles reward system where you can accumulate points by performing various tasks, which you can then exchange these points for bigger and better items. These were just some of the many new features the game added to keep gamers busy. With all of this and so much more, New Horizons quickly became a addicting yet rewarding experience, but in an enjoyable way. With its creative freedom, ability to connect with friends, and make new friends all across the world, New Horizons holds a special place in the hearts of many gamers. Looking back, being able to escape every day on your island to hit some rocks, shake some trees, and have conversations with your villagers felt like a routine during a time where we all didn't really have a routine at all. The game provides so much nostalgia for the millions of us who enjoyed it during the pandemic. For many of us, our islands quickly became our homes throughout the year of 2020. New Horizons was easily a cultural phenomenon moment throughout the down year that was 2020. It literally had everyone talking about the game, playing the game, and sharing memories about the game. At the peak of New Horizons, my friends list was full of gamers playing the game, hunting for villagers, and saving up their bells to buy that one item that they needed. Sadly, looking back, my friends list isn't as full as those same gamers playing the game as it once was. And this isn't a knock on Animal Crossing New Horizons by any means. It just means that many of us have moved on from the game, which is what many of us did. Whether this was the hatred that the game received from the lack of content and updates the game had from the very beginning, or the repetitive game style that quickly became boring for some gamers. These are just a few reasons why many of us put the game down, and I will admit, including myself. But personally, I don't understand why New Horizons receives lots of hate throughout its online community, as there's so much here that kept so many of us busy during a downtime with the lockdowns. Whether it's customizing t-shirts or standees and adding them onto your island, catching every fish, bug, sea creature, digging up all the fossils and completing your museum, deciding which piece of artwork is real from red, obtaining all the items in the game in every variety that they come in, completing Happy Home Paradise, plucking every weed, hitting your rocks, buying turnips, getting every flower in every color, farming, cooking, deciding which villagers come and go, etc. You get my drift. There's so much here that you can do in this game, and this is not even including the mini games that people made during COVID, or someone actually making a full-on Amazon for the game where you can buy, sell, and trade items. And even with 5 years passing since the game's launch, New Horizons introduced a few new mechanics to keep its gamers coming back, such as cooking, having the fish you once caught in the beginning be used for recipes, and new items in Happy Home Paradise. But what's next for the franchise? After you've collected all the fish, bugs, sea creatures, customized your island to the max to reach a 5-star level status, have absolutely no room whatsoever for anything else, and acquired all of the villagers that you desired since day one, what's left to do in Animal Crossing New Horizons? Personally, the series can only go up from here, and while we wait for any new content, updates, or even a new game coming to the franchise, the sad part about New Horizons is that it's basically the same version of the game that was released all the way back in 2020. There have been updates, new items, and DLC. However, it's basically the same game. I think today it's worth it to pick the game back up for a little bit and relive some of the memories and nostalgia that the game brought to so many of us during 2020. And while the game is nowhere near as popular as it once was, there's still a sense of enjoyment when picking up New Horizons. I can't believe it's been 5 years since the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons. A game that quickly became our lives during a scary time in the world, provided so many of us with joy, relief, and a sense of freedom. And while we may not know what the future holds in the series, at least we all had a blast when we look back on Animal Crossing New Horizons. What are your thoughts about New Horizons turning 5 years old? Let me know down in the comment section below. For more Animal Crossing and Nintendo content, keep it locked here, right here on this channel.